Hello, 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 internet. For a moment, I forgot how to unmute my microphone. Got caught up with something, but here I am now. Stream is starting. Hopefully, I can get some work done. We'll see what happens. Or I'll chat with chat for a while. Both things are okay. I've done a little bit of cleaning up stuff in the Tanglewood. So if I draw a map real quick, the Tanglewood is a 3x3 grid. And I have done this much of it. This room is done. This room is done. This room is done. These two rooms are done. I'm going to work on this one today. That's what I'm planning to do. Oh, this one's done. I forgot. That one was also done. Hooray. So I've got 3 left. I think most of the mechanics are sorted out. I think I might need one more enemy. Not sure. 1 or 2. Maybe 2. I don't know why I'm making paint notes for everything today. Well, that's what I'm doing. And then the Tanglewood is done. And all that's left is a couple of cutscenes that happen after defeating the boss of the dungeon. 2, kind of. But then there's I need a little bit of post-chapter 1 dialogue, probably. It kind of depends on how far I get. But my goal is to have chapter 1, including this Tanglewood, done by the end of this month. And then it will be a little bit longer while I polish things up and fix bugs. But February is my hopeful end date for this stuff, which is why I'm really trying to crank out the rest of the Tanglewood rooms. So the room we're working in is Tanglewood North. And you know what? I'm pretty sure all of this I can delete, this red stuff. That was an old concept that I ended up just not using. Clear my throat there. Tiles, walls. And there's a couple new mechanics we're going to use for this. Just realized this might be wrong. We'll see. This room. But first, let me make the poison clouds correct. How do I do this? Inspector, background layer. Cloud texture. Color. Okay, so I want to make this color the same as this background layer, which is this hex code with an alpha of 25. Okay, background layer. This is such a hassle. Hex code 25. Okay, and then I think the panning is already this panning here is 0.1. That's correct. This room should work correctly. Let me set up. Lydia needs her secondary overworld ability for this room, and I'm going to try to do some puzzles using it. And so I'm just going to, for now, do it like this. And now I can go test the transition between the heart room and the south and the north room. Load. Should be everything I need. Okay. I gotta hit this switch. This is the Lydia ability. It's in the chakram. Deploy. Okay, I gotta actually clear this way. Whatever. Clear this. There we go. And then we need to use a changing crystal here. And we need to use a changing crystal up here, which I don't think I have one. Okay, let's give myself one. Give items, quest, changing crystal. Change that, and this should open up this north path. Basically, you need 2 changing crystals to finish this area. There are 2 in the dungeon for you. Let me make sure this one now stays open. Originally, it was going to cycle, so you could only have 1 path open, but then I was like, that seems restrictive. So if you have 2, you can open both paths. And now, here we go. I'm going to hit save just so I don't forget. Okay, and this is wrong. Okay, this all needs to move over 1 room. Tanglewood North. Tiles, walls like this. Boop. This all over 1 row. Okay, now we can test this transition just to make sure it's right. Load. This looks correct. Let's see. Okay, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, the only other transition that matters, make sure to get correct, is the one up here. Make some stuff smaller. There might be a path up to the north, but for now I'm not going to add it in. And then this one, because the northeast room is done, go not northeast, northwest. Here we go. I remember I worked on this. Yeah, I did work on this on stream a little while ago. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be correct. I'm going to go test it. Then those will be our doorways. On the right side, we can do whatever fits the room, since the room over here has not been done yet. Let's see here, make sure this works. Uh-oh, it does not. Huh. How did I mess this up? What happened? One, 2, 3, 4. Huh? What? Oh, that's 5. I see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's correct now. Should have saved there instead of at the bottom. Test this transition. Just being very careful. Don't want to make any mistakes. Correct. Correct. And this is the skull cave that we did a little while ago. Cute. Oh, and over here is a mini boss. We want to see him today. Okay, so this room, the idea is that it's going to be like a north part of the forested city, and it would have a big road going through the middle. Wow, these rooms are big. I always feel like I don't have enough space, which is probably perfect because I made the rooms any smaller, it wouldn't. It always feels big at the start, which I think is probably ideal. So yeah, we'll just start by drafting it out. I don't have a sketch. Let me double check. I might have a sketch actually for this room, in which case I should probably confer to the sketch before I get started. Let me see if I can find it in my documents. Design documents, Tanglewood design notes. This is the part of the, oh yeah, so here we go. This is the part of the project where I started making more new documents instead of putting them into the right ones. So here's my MS Paint drawing. Stuff like this has already changed. I did this. Actually, it's kind of the same. So this was the idea of like a big road through here. Point of interest is suggested. That would be fine. That's doable. And then kind of roads and maybe some market stalls or something, ruined market stalls. And then I want at least one puzzle in this room as well. Yeah. So we shall see. I'm going to put this back on the second monitor in case I need it. And let's just start by sketching out some paths. Cobbles. We can this. May as well have a path back here. I do want there to be kind of like an archway here that's just blocked off. So we'll make it like this. Walls. Is that centered? Yeah, it doesn't actually have to be centered, but... And then for now, I'm just going to put it like this. terrain. That'll be a placeholder in case I do decide to use this spot later. Do some sketching. That's right through the center. The bottom bar, the entrance here is not right through the center. So I'm going to pull back the road a little bit and steer it another direction so that you can encounter it from the side and not notice that it's slightly off center. Or I could move this gate over too. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's put the actual center of the road can be a little bit offset. Probably about right. Wait, that was correct. Erase all this. Move all this over so it's lined up with the doorway. Oh, okay. Well, gotta do this too. Oops. Okay. And yeah, this back wall is just kind of a placeholder. Let me make it a little taller. That will work better. Okay. Here's the basic gist. So this whole path is going to be navigable, I think. But I could kind of put breaks through where there's some dirt and add like vines blocking paths and stuff. The idea is like I want some rooms to be more puzzle focused and some to be more combat focused, mostly because doing both at once makes the room really cluttered. And this is going to be a more puzzle focused room. And I want at least one kind of bonus puzzle. Maybe it rewards a charm slot. That would probably be a good thing to put in here. Okay, so now I'm thinking here. So the puzzle mechanic I was going to work with is the idea of see. The idea of like tiles that can be rotated. So if you see the terrain here, if there were a lot more tiles, then on top of this, I could put some other tiles. So like, take this, bed some tiles. Oh, that's actually an interesting pattern, isn't it? It's kind of hard to see. Do I have? I probably need, if I want this tile thing. Well, the idea is that there'd be some tiles you could stand on and then interact with to rotate them. Now there's lots of things I can do with that. I can make them have to form a pattern. Maybe it's arbitrary. That way I could design the solution to the puzzle to be dependent on like the positions of the tiles and not any specific game mechanic. And then I just hard code the solution for this particular tile puzzle. I like that. And then I can use it in more than one place. So then there'd be tiles that can be rotated and tiles that can't. Okay, I'm pretty sold on this idea, so I'm going to now draw it. Doing some pixel arting. And I should probably make it a 64 by 64 pixel tile, because that will just be rather convenient. And in fact, that means I should probably move this over one more. Probably gonna end up, actually, let's go the other way. Yeah. Move it this direction. Okay, great. Let's make for our puzzle mechanics, mechanisms. Is that correct? Wait. I could do it as a rune thing that Sonia can do. Well, she usually dispels stuff. So I'll just make it a thing that anybody can interact with. All right, so first let's create a sprite for this. Create sprite, rotate tile. We'll call it a rotate tile. 16 by 16 is correct. Edit image. Let's also open up the tile set. TW tile terrain. Let's open up this edit image so I can have this as a reference. Copy this. I think this is the gist of what I need. Should be 16 by 16. There we go. Got some messages checking. Scheduling something with some friends / coworkers. Works for me. Give them the thumbs up. Okay, dealt with all that. I am now back to doing pixel art. Let's see here. So this is like the space tile. I want to first of all make this pop out a little bit. One thing I can do for that is to just make it bright again. Not mossy. Like they've been some janitor went around and cleaned up all these tiles. Plus, like this way I can kind of reuse the tiles a little bit and what? Actually, let's just do this. Clear that out. Clear. Let's make the whole thing one shape. Just making it the same size as. Okay, I'm gonna add texturing afterwards, so let's do it like this. We'll do it like this. Instead of that, like this. Okay, there's a nice tile. The inside is going to have like a symbol on it that rotates. So how should I notate that? Should it be stone? Maybe I make it a color so that it's obvious, and then I can have it turned into stone once you've solved the puzzle. Should probably import a color palette. There we go. Okay, well for now, let me just make the object too. And then I can, no, don't duplicate that object. That would be a bad idea. Rotate tile, and it should be not mechanism. What? That's not sprite, that's sprite. Rotate tile. Okay, parent. Par, all visible. Actually, par static, I think. Object static, that's what it's called. Okay, that should work for now. I don't know for sure Actually, is par interact an option? That's probably correct. Okay. Pretty sure that's right, and I won't have to change it anymore. See here? Got these tiles now. Definitely stands out a little bit because there's no texturing on it yet, but at a basis, this works. Now how to indicate a rectangle, or sorry, an arrow. That is that they'll face cardinal directions, up, right, down, or left, and you can just rotate them by standing on them and pressing the confirm button. Got more messages. Let me see. Okay, lots of Discord activity right during the stream. See, this is why I normally stream on Saturdays. Everyone messages me on Fridays. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, what color? I definitely want it to be. So there's got to be an active and an inactive, because then the inactive ones can be part of the puzzle, but you can't rotate them. And then the active ones, once the puzzle is solved, become inactive. So again, you can't rotate them. And you know that you've already solved this puzzle. When you come back in later, you know, you're all good, right? So let us create a new layer for this. Put some glowing teal. Teal's like my go-to puzzle color because I like the color teal. For anybody that played The Last Librarian, you know there is substantial teal. That's not right. Okay, so the problem is the whole, 16. Hold on. Let's do it like this. Okay. I don't think I can draw an arrow, but maybe I can draw a plus sign. Something like this. Actually, it kind of worked, doesn't it? T? Actually, this... Maybe let me think of a different shape. No, wait. Not so much. Okay. The T is fine. Sorry. Nope. Okay, that kind of works because I can do it like... There we go. Yeah, this is the same arrow I used for arrow. Cursor arrow? Yeah, there we go. It's just a little bit smaller. That's a nice... I can just desaturate it a bit and it becomes like a slightly blue part of the stone. Okay. Kind of like this. Let me see if I can... Take a green. Make it transparent. looks good. Can I make this a brighter green? Not quite that much brighter. Okay. There's the active arrow. And then I can just add a little bit of variation. Okay, great. Hide that real quick. Let's add our texture variation to the stone. Grab the slightly bigger brush. Okay, I want to do the variations separately for the below layer. Okay. Okay, boom. That looks good. Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's good. Okay, and then I have the deactivated one, which is like this. And it's on the first layer because the first one will be the deactivated, the second will be activated, and then the image index is equal to activated. That's my shortcut. Okay, so now instead of this nice bright color, I need to strongly desaturate it. I should have done this before I added the strongly desaturate. Remove those. That's not quite what I want. We'll just use this stone, this dark stone color. Start with the dark stone. Is that the right shape? Yep. Add a little bit of extra dark. Actually, just make the whole thing extra dark. And then a little bit of, you know. Okay, so now it's just like a little crevice. It glows until it's ready, and then it becomes like this. I'm quite happy with that. Stone is easy. This is just what you do. You just take gray, and then you scribble over it. That's how I make all my artwork. I just scribble. I don't know if it looks good, but it looks better than not scribbling it. I'm sure a pixel artist with more skill than me would be able to be a little bit more intentional. But I find just texturing everything a little bit random really improves the overall appearance, particularly for, if that's part of the style, right? Okay, so now we've got rotate tile objects. I'm going to go load them into the room and see what they look like. They won't do anything yet, but that's the idea. Just to take a peek at them. Oh, well, they're flashing. Watch out. Also, they're above me. Okay, well, that's two good things to know. Well, we can start the code now. We're going to have two. We're going to have a disabled one and an enabled one. Let's make the disabled one first, because it's much simpler. Disabled. Okay, rotate tile disabled. And oh, I just realized something. Okay. Nothing is wrong. The origin point needs to be in the middle, but it is already because that's my default. Okay. Image speed equals 0. Depth equals room height. That should fix both the weird graphics issues. Rotate tile disabled create. Let's compile and take a peek. Wait, why didn't it work? Wait a second. Object rotate tile. Aha! Should not be visible. That's counterintuitive, but I have hijacked the drawing system of GameMaker and do it myself, which means anything should not be visible. Should just code that in so that I stop making that mistake, but here we go. Now we stand on top of the tiles, which is perfect. Okay. These ones are already done. This is straight up all I need. Oh, well, I can check them. These ones should not be able to check. And I need to make the interact distance smaller. So par interact. First, the interact radius is huge. So interact radius should be like you're standing right on top of it. So let's see if this works with 4. Perfect. You're within 4 pixels of the center. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Maybe 8. As long as you can stand in the middle and not trigger them, 8 should be good. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, anywhere, like pretty much if you're standing on it, you're good. Okay, so now let's make sure if I set that to nothing, that these ones you cannot interact with. And it won't interfere. I think that's how I check, probably. Check where interact text is not equal to nothing. Empty string. But we'll find out. Good. Sure enough, I can slash these guys. I guess I could have just made these not par interact. Meh. This is fine though. Cool. Okay, so now I need rotate tile enabled. And these guys are clones, but we make this rotate. Image speed, image index equals 1. And these guys are going to be the same, except you can rotate them. Rotate. Oh gosh. No, I want the grid. Okay. Boom. Boom. We'll play with a couple of these. Okay. They're going to glow blue until you rotate them. And then let's see how this rotation works to start. Rotation. Yep. Variables. Rotation 180. Oh. I just thought about this. You can see that the only the arrow should rotate, not the rest of it. Okay. So let's do it like this. Okay. So now for the rotating ones, I can tell them to draw this first, and then draw this according to their image angle. In the room, we'll see these, right? Actually, I should probably just do... Let's just make these 2 separate sprites. Because then I can render them in the room correctly. Take this arrow, put it here so I can see in the room editor which is which. That's the first sprite. Then the disabled one is literally just that. Set the sprite to tile disabled. Okay. And then the other rotate tile, we'll use this one. But this, I need a draw event for. And instead of this, I say draw sprite index 1 xy, draw sprite index 2 xy 1 1, image angle, image blend, image alpha. Okay, so now in the room editor, I should be able to see the difference between the two. These are wrong right now, but when I render them in the game, they'll be correct. Fingers crossed. Perfect. That's correct. And now these guys have rotate. So I just have to code the rotate to change the image angle. And then I can add all the like puzzle logic for is the image angle correct. So that means, how does par interact work? Isn't it like this? Event user 0. I think it's 0. Rotate tile interact. I think this will work. Plus equals 90. That will make it rotate. I think the image angle will automatically modulus, but we'll see how it looks. There we go. Look at that. Oh, but since GameMaker is backwards, I actually want to minus equals 90 because I think clockwise makes more sense for most people. Boom, 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 boom. It's a little hard to see when you're standing on it. I think that's okay. Because I like how centered and beautiful they are. I like this actually. I'm actually really happy with this idea because I can also make a point of interest puzzle that involves these. That would be really easy, actually. Well, slightly easy. Somewhat easy. It's doable, at least. Anyways, I can also use them for passwords, like up, left, down, right passwords. Just put them in a row. There's your sequence, right? Or I can make them so they all have to point at each other, or they have to match a different pattern, right? Lots of different ways that the solution could involve rotating these tiles. Okay. What I want now is I want to add a solution indicator that I can easily place in the room editor. And rotate to be the correct solution instead of having to type in a number. So I shall just make it like this. Let's make it a little desaturated, or a little brighter rather, and give me a grid. Okay, there's the tile solution. Actually, let me make it a little bit bigger. Good enough. This is going to be completely invisible to the player anyways. Solution. Visible parent par all won't be visible. So now in the room editor, I would place a second object here. It'd be like, hi, that's the solution. I want this to be a little. Maybe instead of this. Just do it like this. I do prefer the green though. Room. You know what? And it doesn't even need the green there. It just needs the outline. This is the solution now. I should like to rotate it. Yeah, 270 on that. Okay, we'll just put the password to these 3 270 down. This one 0. And then I can do this. When this is created, answer, whoa, const xy obj rotate tiles solution. Okay. And then here we say, after it's been rotated, just to make sure, angle modulus 360, you round it to make absolutely certain. And then we say solved equals image angle equals solution dot image angle. So if they match, it's now solved. If they don't, it's not. Say solved equals, well, actually we say solved. We have to do this at the start too, because it could be that the tile is in the correct position to start. Okay. So then we would eventually have to count for whether it is solved. So instead of doing that, I'm going to temporarily say image index equals, oh, it doesn't matter because of how this works. Okay, well, in here I'm just going to say if solved, draw text xy, yay. Just give it an exclamation mark. Okay, so now I'll at least be able to see when they've been solved or not, to make sure that that part of the logic is working. Let's go. These ones are solved. Not anymore. Oh, ooh, interesting. What? This one works, but the down ones don't. Why is that? The round is going up. Floor? Oh, because it's subtracting? No. Floor. Let's try floor. Maybe it'll work. I'm not totally sure. I think there's something weird going on. Okay, something about modulus not working on naked. What? Okay, for a second I thought that wasn't working either. Okay, so that we can now detect when they're facing the correct direction. It's cute. All right. I think I'm going to call it there for today. It's been a little under an hour since there isn't much chat activity, anyways. No sense in particularly going for 10, 15 more minutes, just for the sake of it. With those puzzles, I'm going to basically next, and probably tonight, we'll see if I have energy. I'm going to wrap up the detecting when the puzzle is solved, quote unquote, and I can attach it to any previous puzzle mechanic, so I can have it open a gate or spawn a treasure chest. Actually, can I even spawn a treasure chest? Not sure about that one, but there's a way I could do that. Anyways, that's besides the point. And then I'll use that to make at least one puzzle in this room and one puzzle in this room. East. Not east. Okay. I have like one very specific confusion point, which is I cannot keep west and east straight. Which you'd think I'd be able to do. I live on the west coast of a country. And that I know pretty well, but I always have to think of a map and of where I live in order to figure out which way is which every single time. Yeah, so right now there's these pillars here that I was thinking I was going to turn into a passcode puzzle. I think I'm going to use these tiles instead, so I can reuse them somewhere. In order to open this door. So it'll be like a relatively simple one that can be used to get into this room. Because this puzzle is actually quite required. Like, you have to go in here to beat the game, so. Actually, do you? Yeah, probably. Anyways. There's all kinds of funny things in this game. Swap this out for the vine variation. Easy. Alright, everybody, thanks for watching. Did some more puzzle mechanics, left some more puzzles in there. Like I mentioned, I've got the classic almost done here. Done this and this and this. And this is what I worked on today. And then I've just got these two rooms left. It's a real shame that this bottom left one is going to be the most complicated. But that's okay. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm making good progress. Oop. That's my shitpost folder. Don't pay too close attention to that. Sorry, YouTube don't demonetize me. I'm not monetized. Anyways, goodbye, everybody. I've been rambling. Have a good night.